Hey guys, this is the second video for this week. Nothing major, but I thought I'd maybe try something a little bit different. My dogs are acting crazy in the background. I'm sure you heard them barking earlier. I can control the humans, but I cannot control those animals. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with them. Love them to death though. So I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to read it to you. I miss reading to you guys. I miss our read alouds. I miss reading books. I don't know, but so I thought maybe I'll try reading it and then working on identifying the key events to summarize the text after I've read it to you. Before this, though, I do want you guys to have tried it on your own as part of. Ooh, look at that gray hair. As we need to open up these salons. When you are learning, you have to try it. You guys have done this numerous times already in class, and you did it over the last few weeks with the 2 short reads. You can try this without being walked through it. I want you to try it. So before you finish watching this video, I want you to have tried. Okay, use whatever color you want to use for a highlighter, or if you want to use a pencil or whatever, your first attempt, use something to identify the key events and then write the summary in the margin. After you write this video, you are going to use it to make corrections and see how you did. Did you get 1 key event correct? Did you get 2 key events correct? Did you miss one? Did you get them all correct? Did you get them none correct? I mean, that's how you learn. You try it, you make mistakes, you figure out what those mistakes are, and then you try to do better the next time. Sometimes it takes some 1 or 2 attempts. Sometimes it takes some 10 or 20 attempts. I mean, everybody is unique in their own way, but you got to at least try every single time, and hopefully you see improvement, which I think all of you have, if you're really putting forth that effort, because it's true with anything. You get out of it what you put into it. So if you're not putting that effort into it, of course you're not going to get anything out of it. So you get out of it what you put into it. And I hope all of you are really hoping to try to master this skill. Even today as Miss Choquette, yes, I'm 42 years old. I still learn teaching you guys all of this stuff. So learning never ends. True life skill. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to read the first 9 paragraphs to you, and then we're going to highlight the key events to summarize. So I have everything here, like hard copies and stuff, because I got to touch my stuff. This computer stuff has not been fun for me, but it is what it is. Okay. So here is the Pagoda on the Hill of the Imperial Springs, an excerpt from Myths and Legends of China by E.T.C. Warner. The following legend tells how Peking was developed in the 14th and 15th centuries under the Ming Dynasty. In Chinese culture, dragons are often associated with water, specifically as a force that controls them. And a lot of times when they refer to centuries, maybe you have learned this through some of the social studies learning, but when they say 14th century, they mean the 1300s. When they say the 15th century, they mean the 1400s. It's kind of weird. We're in the 21st century in our world right now, and that is the 2000s. So it's always like a number up. I was born in the 20th century. I was born in 1977. That was the 1900s. So the 1900s are the 20th century, and the 1800s are the 19th century. So it's like you go one up. So the 14th century is the 1300s, and the 15th century is the 1400s. Kind of weird, but it's good to know when you're reading about centuries or when they say it like that. All right. So, and we also saw the little exponent. And it just lets you know that there's a footnote down at the bottom that explains that word a little bit more. It's 1. It says Peking, the old name for Beijing, a main city of China. I like to refer to it as an exponent because you can relate to it with math. But all right, a drought and its cause. While everything was thus tranquil in the new city of Peking, a sudden and untoward event occurred that spread dismay and consternation on all sides. One day, when the Prince of Yin went into the hall of audience, one of his ministers reported that the wells are thirsty and the rivers dried up. There was no water, and the people were all in the greatest alarm. The prince at once called his counselors together to devise some means of remedying this disaster and causing the water to return to the wells and springs. However, no one could suggest a suitable plan. No one knew how to solve this horrible problem. And there's another little exponent in there. Where did I see it? Prince of Yin. So if we look down, he was also known as Prince of Yan. Yin Yang, I don't know, like yin yang, or Zhu Di, the Yongle Emperor from 1360 to 1424. So 1360 is the 14th century, and 1424 is the 15th century. See, me and your parents, we've now lived within 2 centuries. We lived in the 20th century, and now we're living in the 21st century. Cool stuff. All right. Just like this guy, Prince of Yin. All right. It is necessary to explain the cause of this scarcity of water. There was a dragon's cave outside the east gate of the city. The place was called Thunderclap Mouth. Now, very few people went there, and none had spoken of the dragon, as the dragon had not been seen for myriads of years. Must mean a lot of years. Still, it was well known that he lived there. Everyone believed the cave was the home of the dragon and that the dragon was somehow responsible for the drought. What could have made the dragon angry? At last, the answer was revealed. In digging out the earth to build a wall for the new city, some workmen had broken into the dragon's cave. They thought little of the consequences that would result. The workers simply carried on and built the wall. So this is where we're seeing some of the truth hidden within this legend. Okay, so in the pictures below that gives us some of that background. It said the palace the Prince of Yin built in Beijing still stands today and is called the Forbidden City. It covers 2.6 million square feet. So if we know area, okay, so it's length times width makes that square feet. Which is 242 and 5/10,000 square meters. So there's a conversion for you. And contains 9,999 rooms. When the royal family lived there, only guests were allowed to enter. But today it is a popular tourist attraction. Of course it is. So here is a drawing of it, and here is an actual photograph. So this is cool stuff. All right, turn the page. The dragon was exceedingly angry. He became determined to shift his abode. I think that's how you say it, abode. But the she-dragon said, "We have lived here thousands of years, and shall we suffer the Prince of Yin to drive us forth thus? If we do go, we will collect all the water and place it into our yin-yang baskets. And at midnight, we will appear in a dream to the prince. In the dream, we will request permission to retire. If he gives us permission to do so and allows us also to take our baskets of water with us, he will fall into our trap." Oh, there's another exponent to 3. It says yin-yang baskets. Baskets used for drawing water. Yin-yang means a balance of forces. We all know what a yin-yang is. I'm sure we do. There's a portrait of the Prince of Yin. I did not think that's what he was going to look like. So this portrait of the Prince of Yin is ink and color on silk. It is a hanging scroll. Today it is located in the National Palace Museum in Taipei, Taiwan. It's interesting. All right. So paragraph 6. Here the she-dragon smiled mercilessly, then continued, "For we shall take the water with his own consent. That will be our revenge. The people will have no water, and without water, they will perish. Water is the one thing all humans need." Seeing some of that essential question there. The Prince's Dream, paragraph 7. The 2 dragons then transformed themselves into an old man and an old woman, went to the chamber of the prince, who was asleep, and appeared to him in a dream. Kneeling before him, they cried, "O Lord of 1,000 years, we have come before you to beg leave to retire from this place, and to beseech you out of your great bounty to give us permission to take these 2 baskets of water with us." The prince readily assented, little dreaming of the danger he was incurring. The dragons were highly delighted. They immediately hastened out of his presence. Then they filled the baskets with all the water there was in Peking. Finally, they carried the baskets of water off with them. And then we get some more photographs of dragons. It says, dragon statue rain spouts are common in the Forbidden City. Dragons are often associated with water in Chinese legends, which is interesting. I mean, I think fire, which is like, when I think of dragons, I think of fire, which is kind of like the opposite of water. So it's kind of weird that dragons are associated with water. Anyways, turn the page, paragraph 9. When the prince awoke, he paid no attention to his dream till he heard the report of the scarcity of water. Then, reflecting on the singularity of his dream, he thought there might be some hidden meaning in it. He therefore had recourse to study his dream again. He discovered that his dream visitors had been dragons who had taken the waters of Peking away with them in their magic baskets. His dream, however, contained directions for the recovery of the water. So at once, he prepared to follow them. All right, so that's part 1. So all we had to do with paragraphs 1 through 9 is identify the key events and summarize the text. So I'm going to use the highlighter tool on here. You should have picked a color and have tried this on your own. Now I want you to pick a second color, okay, and highlight the ones that I'm going to highlight. So you can compare what you did to what is correct. Make sense? So you should have 2 different colors highlighting your key events to kind of do a compare between what you tried and then me giving you the answers. And remember, key events, you look for big changes, changes in character, changing in setting, changes in feeling. You look for those changes, okay? So I definitely could pick out some changes. All right, so we definitely had a big problem here. The Prince of Yen has learned that there is no water, and the cause was because the dragons got angry because the city workers had broken into their cave, so they wanted revenge. So there's a problem, and there was a reason for it. Something had happened. Okay, so and let's see. Let's go to. Let's see. All right, so the drought and its cause. So we have, this was trailing Sydney Ping. A sudden and untoward event occurred that spread dismay and constention. Okay, so there was a problem, and it was that there was no water. No water. There was no water. So this one's highlight. I'm going to pick, maybe I'll pick green. That looks pretty. All right. Let's see. A sudden kind of event occurred, and that there was no water. So they really didn't know why. But it says, it is necessary to explain the cause of the scarcity of water. There was a dragon's cave outside the east gate of the city. Place was called the Thundercloud. Okay, still it was everyone. Okay, this is good detail. And digging out the earth to build a wall for the city, some workmen had broken in. Okay, what had happened was workmen had broken into the dragon's cave. All right, let me put that away so I can turn the page. And the dragons were angry. So there's a change. There's some feeling. The dragons became angry and decided for revenge. So we shall take our water with his own consent. So they decided to steal the water from the people because water is the one thing that all humans need. So they figured that was the best revenge they could do. So he wakes up. There's a sudden problem in their peaceful city. The water is gone. All the water is dried up in the springs. They don't know why, but the reason is because workmen had broken into the dragon's cave, and the dragons got angry and decided on revenge to take the water because that's what all humans need. All right. Then we get to the prince's dream. So this is the revenge part. So this is where we get all that detail and stuff. So the dragons transformed themselves into man and went into his and appeared to him in a dream. So there we go. All right. So a lot of stuff happened in this dream. So let's see, the prince, they asked for permission and the prince allowed it. So give us permission to take these 2 baskets. Ooh, man, that is really messy. Can I garbage that one? What is it? Do you wish to delete this highlighter drawing? Okay, thank you. How do I make it? Maybe make it smaller. There we go. Do you see how I did that? I made it smaller because it's really highlighting a lot. All right. It says, give us permission to take these 2 baskets of water with us. And the prince assented. That means he said, yes, I give you assent. Yes, you can. So, and then, so in the dream, the 2 dragons disguised themselves, went to the dream, asked for the water. The prince said yes. Lots of details. I mean, obviously, it was like how they filled the baskets and that they carried the baskets off and, you know, lots of detail and discussion there. And anyway, so the prince woke up. So here we got a change. He was sleeping. Now he is awake. So there's a change. So we take this again. Please let it be. Yay, it's just stayed the same. So the prince woke up. Okay. And he started reflecting on his dreams. And so he discovered and he figured out that his dream visitors had been dragons. Okay. And he decided he was going to follow them. All right. So there's all the highlighting for that text. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to write a summary. I'm going to write it on this page here. You could do it on this page, on page 16, or you can do it on page 14 or 15. It really doesn't matter. If you've written it on 14, and then you see mine and you want to fix yours or make yours better, do it on 15. So, okay. Go back to text. Text. All right. I really like typing in blue. I don't know if it's going to show up though. I'll do black. Here we go. Black is typical. All right. Ugh, what's it doing? Text. Black. Here. Okay. All right. In a dream, angry dragons. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I should start with the problem. Okay. The prince learns there is no water in the city of Peking. So I got the setting in there. You got to get that setting in your summary, because when people are reading your summary, they got to at least know where and when. The workmen had gone into the cave of the dragons and angered them. They decided on revenge by taking what humans need the most. Water. You like my ... All right. Then, so in a dream, the angry dragons trick the Prince of Yin, or Yan, Yin, Prince of Yin, into allowing them to leave the city with 2 baskets filled with all of the, let's get the word of, maybe all the water in Peking, which is the city they were in. The prince discovers, the prince discovers the trick, okay, and he prepares to follow that. All right, only thing is wrong here is this is really, okay, not long enough. So, and I can make the font a little bit bigger. If you don't like 14, we can try 16. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier to see. All right, so there you go. So that is the key events. And to summarize, and I got to read to you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stop sharing. And again, I am really hoping you guys are being trustworthy and trying this on your own. These are not new skills. We've been practicing this kind of stuff since the first few weeks of school. So, and I'm pretty sure these are some things that you've done last year as well, maybe a little bit more in detail this year. But if you notice, I didn't highlight the whole text, and my summary was way less than the actual text itself, which is the ultimate goal. You want your summary to be significantly less words, and summary is just that. Just you hit the main points, you hit the main big events, and we noticed them in some changes. You know, we established what the setting was, and we established the characters. It was Prince of Yin and the 2 dragons, and the place, which is Peking. So you got all that done, then you did great. So hopefully your comparison worked out well, and you learned something. So after this one, we're going to do the next video, which is part 2 of key events and summary, and we'll do the same thing with those. So